What's up, party people? 3 weeks. We've made it. 3 weeks today. I'm feeling a little bit like Jack Nicklaus's character in The Shining. Nicholson? Nicholas? Whatever. Jack. Minus the axe, uh, plus a drip line. Um, I've been kind of wandering the halls, muttering to myself occasionally, talking to invisible people. But let's be honest, I'm just one platelet drop away from writing red rum on the hospital room windows. Just kidding. My blood's way too valuable at this point. I can't spare a drop. But in this, in the spirit of staying kind of both mentally intact and medically transparent, I just wanted to just drop a quick video and update you. Initially, I thought I'd be updating a lot more, but the process has been slow and it's been working. So, um, quick 5 minute update here. We're going to do part hematology, part Taylor Swift, because obviously, and yeah, so let's get into it. Let's talk about the history of LDS Hospital. LDS Hospital is the OG hospital of Salt Lake's medical scene. This place was founded in 1905 by, of all societies, the Relief Society. So good at centerpieces and great at hospitals. Um, the Relief Society. This is the first church. It was founded by the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Um, so these women that once ran this massive grain saving operation, they're also pretty good at building hospitals. It's no big deal. Um, let's see. Another fun fact: it was originally Deseret Hospital, and in 1880 it shut down and came back in the 1900s. So it is one of the oldest buildings here. They're moving it. It was one of the first hospitals west of the Mississippi to train nurses to perform modern surgeries, and it's still today run by Intermountain Health, um, training nurses. Monday was training day. Everybody was followed by a black scrubbed trainee. It's also currently the host to a slightly overdramatic leukemia patient who insists on recording Substack videos from his hotel room bed. Let's see. Since then, it's landed in the caring hands of Intermountain Health. The soul of this place still lingers in the walls, with 100 years worth of grape juice stains and generational trauma for sure. Let's see. Hematology breakdown. Let's talk about my blood, specifically. Um, how and how things are going. We'll start with the platelets. Platelets are the things that help you clot. The hospital wants me at about 50,000 to stay stable. In March 11th, I clocked about 16. As of today, at a much healthier 137. We've seen some dramatic jumps on my own without the need for blood products. Um, I mean, uh, yeah, basically, I went from uh, paper towel strength to a strong hug from grandma could have ruptured my spleen. So I've got some notes here and trying to be witty and funny and keep it all together at the same time. So red blood cells. Red blood cells, they deliver the oxygen. They're the Uber drivers of my little oxygen tanks. I've bounced back. Let's see. I started um, in the high range. Typically they want you around 21. That's the goal. And there's like a little bit of math behind that. It's described in the text below. You can kind of read. Um, Currently, as of yesterday, 28.2. So still on the low end for like a healthy human male, which should be around 40 to 50. Um, this just means, my trip to the bathroom feels like I'm summiting Everest. It's just not enough air. White blood cell count. These are the little jerks that have really been causing me trouble. Um, it's This is my immune army, right? These are the ones that got corrupt. Uh, on March 12th, they were right around 24.9, which means my body was fighting something, right? Like something was going on. Um, it was actually responding to the blast count from the leukemia. We'll talk about the blast count in a minute. ANC, this is the absolute neutrophil count. These are the elite squad of white blood cells in my body. So this is really what they consider, quote unquote, your immune system. Anything under 1.0, and you should be avoiding everything. Avoid salad. Anything that could cause, like, that's why they don't even allow plants in my wing of the hospital, just because of all the bacteria. It's just no immune system. On the 11th, I was at point 9. So basically a very big risk of infection. Currently at at point 3. This is something we had to reset, right? Part of it was killing off all the white blood cells that carry the actual APL. We'll talk a little bit that more. So fibrinogen. This one is, basically the duct tape of my blood system. It's essential for clotting. I started at 78 when I was booked in on the 11th. And it went up and down because they were pumping me full of blood products. I got to a point where I believe on the, let's see, fibrinogen, it became so stable by the 22nd at 150. They've stopped testing. They'll test periodically. And so we've stabilized there. It's really a great sign. I'm without a decent amount of fibrinogen, even something like a sneeze could have caused a leak that could have meant I need serious medical attention. And the last one is the blast percentage. The blast percentage is really the amount of quote unquote leukemia that is in my blood. My early numbers showed 75 to 72%. These are those immature white blood cells that are the leukemia. That's the one key marker of APL. Now, chemo's job was essentially to kill off these specific freeloaders, and with the hope of that we repopulate that. Now, with that, the arsenic, quote unquote, that we colloquially call chemo, in addition to killing off this blast percentage, it also killed off things like my good white blood cells, my platelets, some of those other things. So some of these we intentionally reset, like the doctors intentionally reset. The beautiful thing is here, the blast percentage really stabilized around 1 or less than 1% on the 19th. So midweek last week, again, they've stopped testing it. This isn't necessarily a signal of remission, but it is kind of a leading indicator. They want to see this number going down. It's what really is the indicator that shows that I'm responding to the treatment. Okay, so all of these weird numbers, they carry a lot of emotional weight. You hear something like a 0.09 ANC, and that feels like a 2-star Yelp review on life, right? A 27 platelet count feels like I'm balancing out balancing on the edge of every hospital protocol. But eventually you find a rhythm, you find playlist. Music has been one of those things that's gotten me through a lot of this. So you find facts, you find comfort in all the things, even bad blood. Little T Swift reference there. So I've developed my APL Spotify playlist. It features all bangers that have kept me going. Everything from you know, uh, hardcore rap to Taylor Swift. You know, Taylor Swift's Bad Blood has been one of those that's ironically funny in this situation. Right now, we have problems. I don't think we can solve them. I'm just singing this stuff to myself. But what I really want to know is, what is your anthem of healing? Drop your comments below. I want to know. Let's add it to the playlist. I'd love to know what helps you get through your darkest hallway. Uh, Thanks for tuning in this week for Tyler's medical mystery hour. I'm still figuring a lot of this stuff out myself. Still feel like I'm going strong. Um, in desperate need of a haircut and a beard trim, but we'll get there. Uh, I love you all. I'm grateful for all the letters, all the kind words, all the prayers, all of the notes and gifts. Super grateful for you for checking out and interacting with the Substack. Until the next episode, which will hopefully be sooner rather than later, when we may talk discharge. Um, Hang in there, and I will continue to tap out cancer. Cheers, everybody.